Dear Santa, my name is Eldin and I am a musician. I have written more than 60 original songs and I would like to make or record an album. I would like to at first record one album with only 7 songs and then 2 more with 7 each. I have chosen 21 songs from my catalog to record a triple album and release to the public. So if you can point me to the right way, I would really appreciate it. If you're real, send money my way so I can record these albums, or show me the way how I can do it on my own. The albums are a concept that I thought of a long time ago after witnessing something that probably forever changed my way of thinking, and that's the war. Even though my songs are about love, they are also about hate, because you cannot have one without the other. There's always yin and yang in every experience, and there's more than just yin and yang. There are at least 3 sides to every story. They say there's your story, my story, and then there's the truth somewhere in between, or somewhere completely opposite. During the war, I observed the Holy Trinity at work, but not the Holy Trinity that you might think of, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. The Trinity that I have observed is the Trinity of the victim, the attacker, and the Good Samaritan. A family was pushed into their own home, and another family set fire to it and watched them burn. The third family simply observed the whole ordeal. All 3 families felt divinely guided to these roles. The victims felt they should be the victims. The attackers felt they should be the attackers. And the Good Samaritans, the innocent bystanders, I laugh even though I shouldn't be, felt that there was nothing they could do. The victims felt there was no escape. Their destiny was the only way out. And the attackers felt that it was either them or us, or their own lives. So in order to save their own lives, they had to get rid of their neighbors. Sooner or later the neighbors were going to go after them. And the bystanders, I don't know what to call them, so I'll call them Good Samaritans, or just Samaritans. Whether they're good or bad, that remains to be seen. Just watched because they didn't know whose side to choose. And a lot of time in our lives, it's exactly like that. Whether we talk about the war, or we talk about homelessness, or we talk about drug addictions, or we talk about somebody's falling marriage. We just feel it's not our business to interfere, really. There's nothing you can do. It's always funny when something happens funny. Again, my sense of humor is extremely twisted because I have survived things that no man should have gone through. So it created this amazing individual that I am, that no one really quite understands, because in Bosnia I'm a stranger, and just like I'm a stranger here in Newfoundland, Canada, and I was definitely a stranger in Korea, my experiences are so vastly different than the majority people around me, and my opinions of the world, my views of the world are vastly different, yet I'm exactly what is needed. I'm the antidote to the madness that we have. Unfortunately, my time will come when the time is right. I cannot push my agenda onto people, because people still cling on to their old beliefs. A lot of people still declare themselves Muslims, Christians, straight, gay, Canadian, American. These things are just non-existent. These are just phenomenons that were pushed upon us, just like our own way of thinking through the system of education, indoctrination, the culture. So much. We are everything. We are the whole universe all at once. Our DNA is thousands of years old, and all our information is within it. Our bodies come and go, but the humanity stays within those DNA facts and data. I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. You have felt it yourself, that something is definitely out of this place. And more and more people are speaking up against it and about it. The world has been polarized in such a way that we really have no more choice but to speak up. Whether rich or poor, we are all suffering the same. I would rather suffer in a mansion while driving my Mercedes than in my social housing right here in downtown St. John's, Newfoundland, living in the ghetto, where we are just watching people die daily because of systematic neglect. That's the best way of saying it. It's all pre-orchestrated in such a way that in order for us to bring in the new world, we need to sacrifice the old one. But who is going to be the sacrificial lamb? It has been decided already, right? I've already said to my kids, you're not going to be the new Prime Minister of Canada. It's going to be Justin's daughter or Justin's son. The same thing is in Bosnia and Herzegovina. The same thing is in Nigeria. Those that have been in power forever will stay in power forever. And they don't want to change things, because they think, this is good enough, leave well enough alone. It's working for us. What else can we do? We're trying to, sweep all the dirt under the rug, and the rug is now a mountain. Everything is coming at us from everywhere, and we're blaming each other. We are still, at the point of like, wow, yes, it's the immigrants' fault, it's the Africans' fault, it's the Muslims' fault, it's the Russians' fault. We truly believe that in order for us to save ourselves, we have to kill our neighbor. We truly do. That's the ideology that's here at work. You cannot go out to a person who is a white nationalist and tell him, no, you're not supposed to feel this way. These people feel threatened by, the influx of immigration here, by the influx of things that they cannot understand. They can see that people are coming from all over the world to Canada. They are, seemingly getting jobs, they are getting houses, they are getting apartments, while the immigrants are suffering tremendously, and they are also thinking that the locals are hating them, they are not including them into their own games. So we're kind of just pushed against each other. Reminds me so much of what happened, back in former Yugoslavia. So much here in Canada is based on that example, on the example of former Yugoslavia. So I really hope we don't follow the entire scenario, from A to Z. We'll see. in order for us to truly understand, to radically accept each other, we really need to look at these three perspectives that I was telling about earlier, the three albums that I'm trying to release. You know, I dedicated 7 songs to the victim. These are the songs that a victim would sing. I also dedicated 7 songs to the assassin, to the perpetrator, to the attacker, who truly believes this is the only way out. And I dedicated 7 songs to the bystander. That's how you say it. The bystanders, who just sit and watch because they don't know which way to go. In many ways, our intelligentsia, or the people who have gone to school and who understand what is going on, are unable to do anything because, you know, whatever move you make is wrong. You're going to affect someone, you're going to insult someone, you're going to put yourself out there, you know, in such a way that you're going to get in trouble. One of the songs that I wrote that I'm not going to release, I did it for fun, is that, you know, mommy, daddy, make baby. Mommy, mommy, no baby. Daddy, daddy, no baby. Mommy, daddy, make baby. It's a universal truth that we cannot avoid. Whether you feel like mommy or daddy, that's a completely different issue. And, you know, I'm not questioning that because, like I said, I'm half my mother, I'm half my father. I would never declare myself to be one way or another. But biologically speaking, or physically speaking, in order for us to move forward, certain things are universal and we're going to have to deal with them in a certain way. But everything else is left to interpretation, and the interpretation comes from the ideology here at work that's, as I've mentioned many times before, only 2,000 years old. Ever since Jesus died for our sins, everything changed. Even from the little that we know about before Christ times, we lived like madmen. I mean, the old Romans, the Greek, you can look at, you know, their erotic drawings. I mean, sexuality, as we know, is only 2,000 years old. Before that, everything was okay. Absolutely everything was okay. But then 2,000 years ago, Jesus said, no, it's not good for the economy. In order for us to move forward, this is how it should be done. 1 man, 1 woman, 1 house. But that's only for the poor people. The 10 Commandments is only for the poor people who attend church every Sunday or go to mosque 5 times a day. The rich have no religion. Just like I don't, but I'm not rich. Well, what is being rich? You know, having freedom to speak your mind. I think that's something. You know, it's not always easy. Believe me, I have paid dearly with my material wealth, with my physical health, with my mental well-being. You know, for this, so I can speak truly what everyone knows. In one of the songs, I say, how many times, you know, must man be wrong? Give me your strength and make me strong. And the other verse is that, you know, just why do I have to, you know, sell my soul for all these ideas and ideals that are really not even mine? You know, why do I have to compete against my brothers and my sisters so I can get a certain place? You know, why is there this carrot and the stick approach? We're constantly competing against each other. The world is big enough for all of us. There's plenty of places to do absolutely everything. But the problem is that, you know, the ideology at work does not want us to cooperate, does not want us to share, because if everyone had an access to a vehicle and everyone had an access to everything, we would think differently. Nobody would do the shitty work for, you know, the rich. Because they don't want to do their shitty work. That's pretty much it. You know, just like I don't. My goodness, of course. You know, I don't want to clean my bathroom. I don't want to take out my trash, clean the snow. I'm too much of an important person to be doing that. You know, I'm a musician. I should be singing songs, the story of the grasshopper and the ant. So, yes, I am singing songs exactly about that, about these three different perspectives at work, about the person who is designated to be a victim, about a person who is designated to be the perpetrator, and the person who should just be watching all this happening in the real time and not doing anything. Hello, sir. So, dear Santa, if you can help, please do. Uh, Show me the way, or teach me how to record these songs so I can spread this truth to the world. And maybe we can do something. Maybe we can wake up the masses. And that's not what I want to do. I basically want to speak to the rich, because they have the means, they have the power to change this world. And it's not an easy thing, because this is, an ant speaking to an elephant. Hey, elephant, let's share. They don't want to share. It's like me telling, to Brad Pitt, hey, share your wife with me. Share your house with me. Share your car with me. Because I'm sharing mine with everything else and everybody else. That's the way of the future. These are very difficult concepts. Nobody really wants to talk about it, because we are all trying so desperately to hold on to whatever we have, whether that's our country, our identity, our home, our car, our family. None of this belongs to us. The possessiveness has to go. Your wife is not your wife, your husband is not your husband. Let them go, do whatever they want to do. Your children are definitely not your children, because eventually they will go do their own thing. The more you try to push them to do things your way, the more they're going to rebel against you, and the more trauma you're going to cause in them and yourself. The same goes with this house. This house is not yours, man. It's yours for a certain time, and it's when you die or whatever, it's going to go to somebody else. Now, the thing is, if you do die, because obviously there is more at work here than just one lifetime. Some people keep certain things forever. I don't want to get into that right now. This is already mad enough as it is. None of it belongs to you. The sooner you give up everything, the sooner you'll be happy. Sharing is caring, and that has to start happen with us. The moment we all start sharing absolutely everything is the moment we are going to be able to move forward. I'm doing that through my music, I'm doing that through my work, I'm doing that through my own life. Nothing belongs to me. I share it freely. Certain things I have problems sharing, but no. Whatever you can't give away or you can't share controls you. And that's exactly what is being used to control you, to bring you down to a level of a subservient slave. Whether you work for your house, your car, your wife, your children, you're a slave to that and to the system that brings it forward. In reality, the whole world is free and belongs to you. The ocean is not Canadian or American or European, it belongs to all of us. All resources belong to all of us. There is no Canadian oil or American oil, or Saudi Arabian oil, it's all ours. The same goes with absolutely everything else. So dear Santa, let's make these 3 albums and justify all of us for the madness that we are doing and creating in the world, including myself for creating these ridiculous videos that most people don't understand what I'm talking about. But you will, and we will. It's just gonna take time. I've said it many times. By 2500, everything will be okay, and you will be here in one state or another.